We have returned to Turakina where they have the Suzuki 4x4 Extreme Challenge, you know, those crazy 4x4s, and we've come to Kalpa Trucks because Dan over here, well, we want to learn a bit more about these trucks, these monsters. I mean, they are monsters, aren't they, when you're up close and there's no roaring V8 behind you?
Yeah, no, they're pretty cool machines, and a fair bit goes into them, you know, the technology and the motors and the suspensions.
This is Hermie's car, right? Hermie, you know, our mate Hermie, won the 4x4 challenge, but it's extremely clean for a start, which I'm not used to. What's pushing this? Because we're all about V8s, we're all about noise and lots of power.
Yeah, well, you can actually never have enough power. You might think you've got all the power in the world, and it's actually about wheel speed. This is a Chev V8 LSA engine, so it's a 6.2 litre supercharged engine. And it would only have a top speed of 120k, but they can do that almost standing still. So if they're at the bottom of a hill or a bank or in some mud, and they put their foot down in top gear, they could be doing the wheel speed of 120k, just moving at 5k.
It's like switching the nitro, right?
Yeah.
We're switching nitro.
Yeah.
Tyres are really important, but what's different than other tyres?
On a dry day, tyres don't really come into the equation so much. But on a wet day where there's mud, they do, but we're not in the mud as much as we used to be.
One of the things I've been fascinated is what the brakeman does, right? So you've got a brake for every wheel, correct?
Yep.
What the hell does it do?
They're used for manoeuvrability and traction aid. Like a tractor or a bulldozer, you can lock up a side and turn it on a dime.
So sitting here, that's right rear, left rear, and then left front, right front.
Exactly. So if you're needing to do a real hard right-hand turn,
Yeah.
you can pull on these two brakes, it'll lock up both right-hand wheels. And it's not actually just braking the wheels. With a standard diff, if you lock one wheel, it'll drive the other wheel twice as fast. So it actually spins you around the corner very sharp.
Which you need in these, right?
So for manoeuvrability. The co-driver's probably got more control on where the vehicle goes than the driver.
So literally he can steer with this thing.
Yeah, you could drive straight out there, and if the co-driver pulls on these brakes, you'll go left. Even if he wants to go right.
Oh, you wouldn't. So in other words, you wouldn't want to be having a bad day with your co-driver.
No, you want to be getting on well with them on the day.
Okay. Cool. Now you know.
So this truck is different to most of them competing. This is fully independent suspension. So you notice the arms and the axles all exposed. For trolls, most guys are using the beam axle setup, where the axle shafts are actually hidden inside here. This is all a solid arrangement. So the difference here is when one wheel goes over a bump and compresses the suspension, it forces the other side down. Whereas in the independent vehicle, you can lift one wheel up and it won't necessarily affect what the other wheel does. Our sport is going faster now. We are hitting bumps faster, hitting banks harder. So that is where we're finding that independent is helping.
I don't like the sound of that. Hitting banks harder, going faster, bumps, yeah. Okay, but there's so much more to this, okay? So you call that a mid-engine, but mate, that's not mid, it's sitting right between you. That's like, well, I suppose it is in the middle of the car.
I think having the weight in front of the rear axle is crucial. A lot of people thought this might lift on steep hill climbs at the front, but it doesn't. My reasoning is if you've got a lip at the top of a hill and you hit it fast with a front engine truck, like a pendulum effect, the weight wants to carry it around the pivot point.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Whereas if it's at the back, it's going to do less of that. If you hit a bank hard and if you button off at the right time, the front of the truck will come down.
Right.
Whereas if you don't button off and you catch the back of the wheels on the lip with the gas on, if you want to do a backflip, that's how you do it.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay. What do you think is the ultimate truck?
A safe truck is a good power to weight beam axle truck, but when you've been doing this for 20 to 30 years, safe sort of goes out the window and you want to build things that are a bit out the box and that keep you interested in it. And that's why I'm doing these different designs, is because I'm interested in trying new stuff rather than building the same thing over and over again. And to be honest, building Hermes' truck, it's called the Gambler, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a gamble. We spent a lot of money and time building that and we weren't sure how it would go, but it is 2NZ and it just won the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge. So yeah, it sort of proves something that things different have got their place if driven right. Yeah.
Like a big crab, Hermes truck.
You might find out soon how much of a crab it is.
The last time we saw Sam Thompson was at the 4x4 event, and he was a lot dirtier than he is now, because he's nice and clean now. NZ1, right? National champion of 4x4. But we talked about power to weight with Dan. Yours is a bit different when it comes to weight, right?
Yes, so the big difference to my one is the whole frame's chromoly, which is a lot lighter or stronger.
Winning the national championship, what, first crack at it?
I have driven in the past. It's my first year in this truck.
Yeah, right.
But I spent 2 years with Scott, who builds these trucks.
Yeah. How difficult is this to pedal?
It's a lot easier than you think, but there is a lot of skill involved as well. Like, yeah, if you want to point and shoot, it's easy, but
Now, when you say point and shoot, is it like find a hill and go straight up? Is that point and shoot?
Yeah. Yeah, so you start at the bottom and your aim is to get to the top.
And is that just putting your foot down and having a crack?
Pretty much.
Really, but is there always a but involved in these?
There's always a but. There's a risk in anything, like it's motorsport.
Do you at all think I could manage one of these in a controlled environment?
Hell yeah.
See? He said hell yeah. And they all thought I was scaredy cat. No, gonna give it a nudge.
Can't wait.
Where am I going?
Up here.
We're here.
Yep.
Where am I going?
Yeah, straight ahead here.
Will you do the braking?
Yeah, I'll do the braking. Now veer left a bit. Okay, just quietly. Yep. Now right. We're here. Just slowly.
Sorry, bad language.
Right a bit. Slowly down to here.
Oh.
Yep. Right. Right, now have a look at this. How easy was that?
I'm done.
Oh, Murphy's turn.
Hey Murph, you're next, because I am done. Vertical. And I've done some other stuff. Oh mate, that was the best. That was so...